Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the weekly Brave Journey birth preparation videos. I'm coming back at you again, snuggled up with my favorite plant out here in the backyard. You might be hearing a waterfall in the background. I'm sorry for the background noise. I personally find it soothing in person. I'm not sure how well it's going to translate across the video, so bear with me. But today we're going to talk about the pressure to eat and drink perfectly. I find that most people who are pregnant are obsessing over what they can and can't eat, and are also obsessing because their care providers have told them not to gain too much weight, but just gain a little bit weight. And already in our culture, and specifically I'm talking about the American culture at the very least, is obsessed with female bodies in particular, but all bodies being a certain weight and restricting their food in certain ways, and all these concepts of health and wellness, which sometimes are very toxic and sometimes are helpful. So I just wanted to read a question I got from an adorable pregnant person. She wrote to me that a really hilarious question. She said, I would love it if you would cover where to start if you happen to be 6 months pregnant and you have not been taking fantastic care of your body with exercise and diet. Not for me. Definitely not for me. Definitely for a friend. This is where she made me laugh. I know that the answer is definitely eat better, do yoga, and go for walks, but I'm wondering what other things I could be doing. I feel frozen by having waited this long. So this person is 6 months pregnant and has found that somehow they've gotten 6 months along in their pregnancy and they are not doing all the things that they feel like they should be doing with their diet and exercise. And it's a real conundrum because the truth is that what you eat directly nourishes your baby. And so what you eat matters. I'm not telling you what to eat or drink. I'm not your medical care provider and I'm not a qualified nutritionist. But I am saying that some of these rules and fears around what to eat, I think come from how little we can control in pregnancy, how much is out of our control, and then how much obsessing over what we can and can't eat makes us feel like we have control. But if that makes you feel uncomfortable, you can sit with that. I'm going to move on to this dear, lovely person's question. So I would say if you're 6 months pregnant and you've been finding it hard to move or eat, and now you're just completely overwhelmed because you feel like you waited too long, then the best thing you can do is start super, super small. So if you are trying to turn around in the next day, completely change your diet and completely change your movement habits, especially if you've been finding pregnancy uncomfortable and difficult to move, it's going to be too hard to do and you'll give up. But if you think of small incremental changes, and I'm talking small, I'm talking on your lunch break, walk 5 minutes one direction and 5 minutes back in your flip-flops. Don't go out there planning to go on some strenuous walk and intend to get yourself super out of breath and make sure that you're exhausted at the end of it. You're not going to do it if that's your intention. But instead, go out and imagine massaging your hips as you walk. So you're massaging your baby, inviting your baby into an optimal position. You're massaging your hips. You're rocking your baby, and you can just walk forward for 5 minutes away from your home or your workplace. I work from home, so this is what I'm thinking. But if you work at a workplace, on your lunch break, 5 minutes away from your workplace and 5 minutes back, and start there. Start there, no more. And then build up. If the next week you're like, whoa, I could totally go longer, do 10 minutes one direction and 10 minutes back every lunch. And just start small. It doesn't have to be so intense. And the same with food. Everything you eat is nourishing your infant. So imagine as you eat that you are nourishing your infant. Don't worry about restricting what you can't eat unless it's dangerous. But instead think, I'm going to add this vegetable to my plate because it is full of nutrients and I am nourishing myself and I am nourishing my infant. And you're adding nutrients to your platter. And don't hold yourself back from the things that make you happy. Food is about so much more than just calories. Food is pleasure. Food is community. Food is ritual. So definitely don't hold back from the things that bring you joy, but add nourishment. Add things that make you feel nourished in small doses. Don't try to change your diet tomorrow. Buy one extra vegetable, cook it for the week, and add it to your plate and nourish your body. And pick your favorite vegetable. Don't make yourself eat things you hate. Okay, so that's the not so popular opinion that I have. about the fact that I think people obsess over food because it's the one thing that they can control, and there's so much that you can't control in pregnancy. And diet and nutrition and movement are hugely important, but they have to be manageable and doable for you. Otherwise, you're just not going to do it. So you have to add small, manageable changes in your movement and in your diet. That's my advice to this darling question. All right. Thank you for your vulnerability, person who sent this question, and I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to hear about the birth of your beautiful baby. And all of you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Email me at kara@bravejourney.com if you disagree with me or you agree with me. I just love hearing from you. Reach out. Talk soon. Bye.